Good evening, everyone. And good morning if you're in a different country or on the other side of the globe. Just kidding. You know what I mean. The Earth isn't a globe. I'm just kidding. Just trolling. Anyways, how's everyone doing today? As for me, I can't complain. Just excited, extremely excited for the next great event, the next great and last event, and that is the surrounding the camp of the saints. As you guys can see, the title has to do with Disney. Now, before you guys laugh or write this off, do some research first before laughing. And if you have already done some research, then I'm pretty sure there are a lot of connections. You found a lot of connections with the timeline of the Millennial Reign. One second, let me just make sure my mic level is at a decent volume. Anyways, guys. Hey, Bonnie. Good to see you. Yes, it will be interesting, and I hope that you will be here for the whole stream. Go ahead and feel free to share the link with your family and friends. Don't be afraid. I'm at a point in my life where I don't care anymore. Well, it's not that I don't care. It's more I am not afraid of ridicule and backlash and whatever is coming whenever I share these things. I have a lot of family who believe otherwise, not just with the Millennial Reign, but with the Earth being flat. So, you guys know, if you are a truth seeker, then most likely you go through what I go through. And then you start thinking, your mind just starts opening, and you're like, man, what about this? What about that? Oh, I remember this one time. This sparked my attention, and I didn't give it any attention though. I didn't give it much attention. For example, Disney. Disney is the biggest production. Biggest production. Bigger than Sony. Bigger than Paramount. The biggest. They are. I won't be surprised if they take over Netflix soon. I will not be surprised. But, yeah, guys, you have to ask yourself the question. What is it about these Disney characters? What is it about Disney? Right? Let's do some research, guys. Let's go to Disney's origins before we get started with these specific characters. So just bear with me 1 second. Now, let me just share this with you guys. Share this screen. There you go. So, as you can see, Disney was founded on October 16th, 1923 in Los Angeles, California. No surprise there. It was founded by, what's his name? Walt Disney and his brother Roy found the Disney Brothers Cartoon Studio in Hollywood, California. The studio, now known as the Walt Disney Company, has had an oversized impact on the entertainment industry. You hear that? They use the word oversized. Has had an oversized impact on the entertainment industry and is now one of the largest media companies in the world. One of? Come on. They're the biggest. They are the biggest, guys. That is a fact. Anybody can say what they want, but Disney is by far the largest production company when it comes to movie production. So, let's do a little history on Mr. Walt Disney. I don't like to get my resources here, but we got to start somewhere, right? There you go. Already they're asking me to subscribe to the history website. Ridiculous. Everything is about money these days. Anyways, a talented artist from a young age, Walt Disney drew cartoons for various publications and became interested in cell animation while working for the Kansas City Film Ad Company. After his Laugh-O-Gram studio went bankrupt in 1923, Walt moved to Los Angeles, where Roy was recovering from tuberculosis, which is his brother. While there, he finally sold a short film produced by Laugh-O-Gram, Alice's Wonderland, and signed a contract to make 6 more such films in order to produce the series. The brothers founded their company and persuaded both Virginia Davis, who played Alice, and their collaborator UB Iwerks to join them in Hollywood. After the success of the Alice comedies and a series based on a character named Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, Disney began work on his most famous creation with the 1928 release of Steamboat Willie. The world was introduced to Mickey Mouse. Yee, Mickey Mouse! The character would go on to become one of, if not the most recognizable cartoons in history. The popularity of the Mickey Mouse shorts convinced Disney his studio could produce a feature film, which he began to do in 1934. The project, which some dubbed Disney's Folly, went 400% over budget and required over 300 animators, artists, and assistants. But Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs was a smash hit when it debuted just before Christmas 1937. Crazy, right? Now, who's to say that these stories are just fabricated? They're like, who's to say these are accurate stories? Anyway, doesn't matter. So, let's move on to these characters. But before we do, those of you who know Disney know that, and do their research on Disney, it is not a secret that Disney has so many sexual hidden messages in their movies. I'm not going to show you guys those things because I find them inappropriate, of course. But the fact that they do things like that is quite disgusting. It's quite satanic. No, it's not quite satanic. It is satanic. It is evil. This is what the officials feed off of. This is how they live. There's a place called the dark web, and I won't get into that, but this is how bad the world is right now, guys. These officials, these filthy rich, spend a lot of money on child trafficking. Okay? This is why I'm making this video. Not only to speak on the Millennial Reign, but to kill a few birds with one stone. So, you look at Disney, and then you look at these officials. The only way to accomplish what Disney has accomplished is to have a superpower. Is to have a certain grasp on a specific agenda and power. So, Disney is a corrupted, and has always been corrupted since the beginning. Like I said, there are a lot of sexual hidden messages. And even if the child can't see it, the fact that they're in there by the animators just shows how sick they are. And when you put that together with the child trafficking, oh man, it's common sense. It just shows how these filthy rich are and what they do with their money. Don't go looking at the dark web, guys. Do yourself a favor. Just take my word for it. But don't go looking for the dark web. It is a nightmare. It is satanic. It is evil. Anyways, let's move along. So, the Millennial Reign and Disney. What are the relations? Well, let's start with Ariel. The charming original story of The Little Mermaid was published in Copenhagen by C.A. Rachel on 7th of April, 1837. Guys, that is right around the reset. What's up, Loyal Tangi? Good to see you, brother. By the way, Loyal Tangi, I need to speak with you personally. It is about, I think you know what it's about, but yeah, I need to speak with you personally. It's nothing bad, but when you have the time, feel free to email me and we'll discuss it there. But yeah, this is right around the time of the reset, guys. Because if you look at the orphan trains, let's go to the orphan trains. Sorry guys, please bear with me. Alright. Let me share this. So, as you guys can see, the orphan trains was right around 1854. Alright. That was right around the reset, guys. Okay, so let's look at Little Mermaid again. 1837, 1854. We see where I'm getting at? And it's not just Ariel. It's not just the Little Mermaid. Let's look at Pocahontas. Pocahontas might be a household name, but the true story of her short but powerful film has been buried in myths that have persisted since the 17th century, guys. That's before the reset. So these things, these stories were published and were being told either during the Millennial Reign or after the Millennial Reign. Let's look at who else. Let's go to Rapunzel. (1812). You see that? Recorded by the Brothers Grimm and first published in 1812 as part of Children's and Household Tales. You see that? These are all tales, folklore, just children's stories, right? I beg to differ, guys. I beg to differ. This is how far I am in, guys. This is how solid my belief and trust in Yahweh is right now. It is so deep that I truly believe that these were actual stories. The story of Rapunzel, let down your hair. You and I both know. If you know that the Millennial Reign already happened, then you know that there were supernatural powers. There were a lot of supernatural things, a super advanced civilization during this 1,000-year reign. So you look at all these stories, and these are just to name a few. You know, Rapunzel, Pocahontas, these amazing stories. Rapunzel having this long hair, golden hair, that gave her specific abilities, you know? Let's go ahead and look at, and Ariel too, you know, from Little Mermaid. What I just showed with Ariel. She was a mermaid. And many people find that funny, that people believe that there were actual mermaids. It is not hard for me to believe anymore that during the Millennial Reign, there were mermaids. It's not hard for me to believe at all. Laugh at me all you want. I don't care. None of that matters to me anymore. Troll all you want. What matters is enlightening people. I would rather look like a fool just to enlighten another. Hope I said that right. I didn't take that from anybody, by the way, so you can go ahead and quote me. Anyways, let's look at Cinderella. The first literary European version of the story was published in Italy by, I'm gonna butcher this name, guys, Guillaume Battista Basile in his Pentameron in 1634. Wow. You see what I mean, guys? 1634. This is during the Millennial Reign. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. This is during the Millennial Reign. Just take the one out and you got the 634. You know, those of you who don't know, we're not in the year 2022. It's actually, if you cut 1,000 years, we are in, let's do the math, guys. We're actually in like 1022. So just take out 1,000 years and you should be good. Glad to be here, brother. Yeah, we'll get it figured out. No worries. Awesome, man. Thanks for your patience, though, Loyal Tanji. I don't want to say your real name, so... but, thank you so much, brother. There is truth in myths. Oftentimes not myth at all. These creatures are real. Yes. Yes, I'm glad that you agree with me on that, Bonnie. But anyways, you see what I'm saying? 1634. That is during the Millennial Reign. I don't find this to be a myth. This was an actual story. Let's move along. Let's go to, you know what? Let's do Beauty and the Beast. Belle. Published in 1740, guys. Right before the reset. So that means Beauty and the Beast, the castle. Notice how the castle at the ending of the movie, the castle went from dark to light. You see what I mean? There's so many subliminal messages, and you can work that out yourself. But, I mean, it's common sense. It's obvious that it's a subliminal message when the castle goes from darkness to light. And 1740, guys. That's when The Beauty and the Beast was first published. And that is right before the Millennial Reign. So this was literally during the Millennial Reign. And as Exploring Tartaria says, and I agree with her, there was still war happening. There were still people having differences and having trouble with sin. This is why I believe in repentance, guys. Everything is moving in the right direction for me and my family. And I don't say that with materialism, with material success. I am talking about spiritual success, guys. Supernatural success. When you do all that you can do to spread truth, and you just end up saving one person and bringing someone to the enlightenment and the truth, that's all that matters, guys. One person at a time, right? And if you can save 100 and 100 more, well, good on you. Let's move to, let's see, Sleeping Beauty. The prince finds the Sleeping Beauty in deep slumber amidst the bushes. The earliest known version of the story is found in the narrative Pierce Forest, composed between 1330 and 1344. This is during the Millennial Reign. The tale was first published by Guillaume Battista. So the same guy that did, I believe it was Cinderella. Guillaume Battista Basile, in his collection of tales titled The Pentamerone, published in 1634. So these years given and timelines given are definitely during the Millennial Reign, guys. And you wonder why there is so much, supernatural powers within these cartoons with these princesses. And it's because during that time, it was a super advanced civilization, guys. Let's read some comments here. Agree. Awesome, Loyal. My mom is Swedish, and her mom used to tell us all these stories of fairies, gnomes, etc., like they were real folk. Wow. That's amazing. Rich in spirit, brother. Thank you so much, Bonnie. By the way, if you don't mind me asking, how old was your mom and her mom? How old was your grandma during this time? And if she's still alive, that's awesome. But yeah, guys, 1330 and 1344, that is literally within the Millennial Reign. Let's move along to the honorable mentions. Let's go to Aladdin. But though those tales were of medieval origin, you hear that, guys? Though those tales were of medieval origin, Aladdin may be a more recent invention. Scholars have not found a manuscript of the story that predates the version published in 1712. That's right before the Millennial Reign, guys. I mean, right before the reset. I'm sorry. So this was during the Millennial Reign. Because if you have done your research, most of us truth seekers, when it comes to the Millennial Reign, agree that it ended right around the mid-18th century. So, yeah. Aladdin was published in 1712. That is definitely within the Millennial Reign timeline. Another honorable mention is, of course, Lion King. The Lion King. Many may not know this, but one of the highest grossing films because it is based on the African legend, a true story. This true story is based on Sundiata Keita, the founder of the Malian Empire. The Malian Empire was the biggest in West Africa from 1235 to 1255. You see what I mean? There's a reason why The Lion King was such a big box office movie. It made so much money. Everyone knows The Lion King. You know, there's more to that story than just lions and monkeys and, you know, warthogs. And, yeah. There's more to the story than these animals. It was an actual true story based on Sundiata Keita, the founder of the Malian Empire. This empire, see, in my opinion, this is an empire that was a small town, basically a small empire that is within Tartaria. Or, I don't like to say Tartaria too much because I am unsure of the true name of this harmonious civilization. So I just say the Millennial Reign. And during the Millennial Reign, Bonnie, my grandma passed at 98. Wow, in 2016. That is a blessed life. To live that long in these days is amazing. So she had some truth. She probably she knew the earth was flat then. Because if she was 98 in 2016, today she would have been 94 or 104. I'm sorry. So if you're someone who lived to 100 these days, then you know you were taught that the earth was flat in your times when you were in elementary. But I don't think there's anybody in the chat right now who's 90 and above. That would be awesome, though. Do you think that... Oh, let me read the rest of your comment, though, Bonnie. She came over to Australia by boat when she was 11. There was a lot she wouldn't talk about, but she would always sit quietly and think. It always made me wonder. That is just awesome. That's awesome, Bonnie. I didn't really get the chance to spend much time with, my grandparents. The only one I ever had a chance to spend a little time with was my grandma, which was my mother's mother. And by the time I got to an age where I could understand a lot of things, she was diagnosed with what's it called? Alzheimer's. But I pray she's in a better place. I don't like to just say that, oh, she's in a better place. No. I don't know. All I can say is that I hope and pray. Ellie Hannah, do you think that Library of Congress might have something about the millennial years? Oh, yes. Possibly. Yeah, quite possibly. I wouldn't doubt it. The Smithsonian, they could have a lot of things swept under the rug, hidden from us. But, of course, there's a lot of things that they can't hide from us. That's in plain sight. And that's the cathedrals and basilicas and royal palaces, these castles and stuff. But yeah, see, the Lion King, 1235 to 1255. That is definitely during the Millennial Reign. So let's go back here and let's just take this time to look at these buildings once more. You see that? All these magnificent buildings still standing. They stood the test of time. It's just amazing, guys, how these buildings are still standing. Every Disney princess movie will have a castle. This is how I know that there's too many signs pointing to the fact that Disney characters and Disney stories were all part of the Millennial Reign. Loyal Tangi, I saw on the recent video that a 102-year-old woman said she was taught flat earth in elementary school. Yes, that was a beautiful scene. It actually brought tears to my eyes when she said that. And she said, and I quote, it makes me feel alive. When she said that it makes me feel alive, that just shows from a 102-year-old woman. It's just amazing. See, I'm about to get teary-eyed too again, but I'm gonna control it. But yeah, it's just amazing, guys. The truth will set you free. As a matter of fact, I watched this video just last night. Let's go to my YouTube. And this guy was talking about how, I'll just play it for you guys. Where is it at? I think it's this one.
Why I'm starting to believe that ancient people had advanced technology. Let's take a look. Well, for once, they created architecture that still puzzles scientists to this day, such as the pyramids of Giza. All we have is theories, but we have no idea how they did it. Even with our modern tech, we don't know how to replicate what they did. Ancient people worked with difficult stones such as granite, one of the hardest materials on Earth. They created amazing architecture and design that almost looked 3D printed. They created huge bronze statues such as the Colossus of Rhodes, which is 108 feet. This site is known as Pumapunku in Bolivia. To this day, these stones puzzle scientists. These stones in Pumapunku in Bolivia are having archaeologists and scientists scratching their heads. They say that it's absolutely impossible creating these structures with hammer and chisel. The only way to make this is with power tools, advanced technology. So much for the ancient people being primitive. Maybe we're the primitive ones. They even have drill holes that don't look man-made, but made with some type of advanced power tool. Their structures have stood the test of time. While our newly built...
So much for being primitive. It's funny how he said that. Maybe we're the primitive ones. That is so true, man. But yeah, I believe that people, when they wake up, the only reason why they would deny it is probably something that's personal or emotional, or they just can't accept the fact that they've been lied to. So the question is, what happened, right? What happened right after the Millennial Reign? How did everyone just appear and just show up? You know, the orphan trains and all that. In fact, let's read this real quick. Orphan trains, 1854, 1929. Between 1854 and 1929, the United States was engaged in an ambitious and ultimately controversial social experiment to rescue poor and homeless children. The orphan train movement. Wow. The orphan trains operated prior to the federal government's involvement to child protection and child welfare. While they operated, orphan trains moved approximately 200,000 children from cities like New York and Boston to the American West to be adopted. Many of these children were placed with parents who loved and cared for them. However, others always felt out of place, when some were even mistreated. Wow. I'm going to stop right there and give you guys this opportunity to state and comment what you believe and what you feel happened right after the Millennial Reign, right upon the reset. What do you feel happened? Because I take everyone's comments and thoughts to consideration. I consider everyone's thoughts. This is not I know it all. What I say is the truth. That's not how I am. I love to fellowship. I love to get together with people. Just the other day, my wife and I were talking and we were saying, I wish we had a group of truth seekers that we could just talk with, and just learn from each other, and be enjoyed and just be happy about the next big events that is going to come. Or should I say event. But I made a video. If you haven't seen it yet, it's right here, the reset people. This is when I was just getting into all this truth. I started off with this exploring Tartaria introduction, and then my second video was Salt Lake City Temple, origins and more. And then I made this one, the King of Instruments and the organs. And my most popular video to date is the Timeline Deception and the Palace of Versailles. And this is the one, the Reset People and the Green Man. It's quite interesting. If you have the time, you can watch it, or I can just, I'll just play it right now. We can watch it together.
You say one word, I say amazing. You say one word, I say amazing.
Today I want to talk about the Reset People, aka the Orphans. One of the earliest, most well-known, and indeed bizarre cases of people appearing out of nowhere occurred in the mid-12th. Oh yes, they invert everything. And yes, you're right. Loyal Tangi. It makes it special. Bonnie says, I can see a cathedral from our house in Bendigo, Australia. Awesome. We have so many buildings here. I've watched them all. Very good, honest video. Thank you so much. Yeah, I have to admit, Loyal Tangi, you've been here since I first started. It's awesome that you're still here with me, man. Definitely a loyal subscriber. Hence the name Loyal Tangi. It's awesome.
12th century.
But yeah, Bonnie, that's cool, man. Like, you could see a cathedral just by staring out your window. Gosh, I wish I had that view. That's awesome. And shout out
When
to
two children
Australia.
mysteriously
Shout out Australia. Chris Tucker shouts out for the work you're doing. You're welcome, Chris.
appeared in the sleepy village of Woolpit in the English county of Suffolk, and went on to become an enduring mystery known as the Green Children of Woolpit. Allegedly one day, two young children, a boy and a girl, suddenly and inexplicably emerged from a deep pit used for trapping the wolves that terrorized the region in those days. If this wasn't already odd enough, it immediately became apparent that these were no ordinary children, as they both reportedly had skin that was tinted green and were dressed in strange, unfamiliar clothing made from an unusual fabric that no one recognized. The children seemed to be more or less healthy, but somewhat dazed and confused. And when villagers tried to speak to them, they spoke strange, unintelligible language that no one had ever heard before. Not knowing what to do with these enigmatic children, the locals presented them to a wealthy landowner by the name of Sir Richard de Caulnay, who took them into his care. Things would only get stranger from there. When she was able to somewhat express herself in English, the girl began to try and explain where they had come from. She claimed that the boy had been her brother, and that they had come from a faraway land located deep underground, where the sun never shone, where it was always dark, and where all the people had green skin. A fantastical place she called St. Martin. When asked how they had arrived at Woolpit, the girl told the mesmerized villagers that she had been out herding cattle with her brother and had found animals following them into a large cavern. As they plunged deeper into the cavern, the girl claimed that they had heard a strange sound like bells, which they followed into the uncharted blackness, becoming more and more disoriented until there was a sudden bright shaft of light that had pierced through the gloom and hurt their eyes. When the children had followed the light, they exited the cavern, only instead of their homeland before their eyes, it had been the bottom of the wolf trap pit they had been found in. It was a bizarre tale, to be sure, and nobody was quite sure what to make of it. Although there was all manner of speculation, the girl would subsequently go on to live a relatively normal life in the village, adjusting comfortably to her new home, integrating into society well, and even being baptized, and eventually getting married. The story of the Green Children of Woolpit went on to become a popular tale of curiosity and is still much discussed to this day. It is difficult to know what to make of this story, and hard to ascertain just how many elements actually took place, and which are mere myths, exaggerations, folktale, fancy, and fairy tale. There have been a wide range of theories proposed for the Green Children's origins, ranging from the somewhat plausible to the more far-fetched. The enigmatic children have been alternately theorized as being from a parallel dimension, aliens, inhabitants of some hidden subterranean civilization, feral children raised by animals, orphans with arsenic poisoning or malnutrition, which made their skin green, or Flemish immigrant refugees fleeing persecution and a battle that had killed their parents. In the end, no one really knows who they are, where they came from, or indeed, how much of the story is even based in reality. And so the story of the Green Children of Woolpit has become an enduring mystery that will perhaps never be solved. This article I just read can be found in the description box below. The Green Man, a human-like creature adorned with leaves, vines, and flowers, appears in depictions dating back to before the Roman Empire.
I'm still figuring out how I feel about the orphans, but it feels like they just appeared from nowhere. Have you looked into the serpent children of Cain and the mud flood bodies? Statues? No, I haven't. And feel free to share that with me, Bonnie.
Or other magical creatures. Their arrival, acceptance into the town, and baptism may represent the transition of people moving from old beliefs and transitions into a Christian life. Surprisingly, the beans are also very important. The Roman tradition of giving beans.
Awesome work. Yes, praise and glory to Yahweh. Most definitely. Always.
Only eating beans associated with death, and upon being given bread props, meaning the Eucharist, their health and culture.
By the way, at the end of the video, I'll go ahead and share my wife's channel in the description box. So look forward to that.
Remember, a priest first wrote the story, and then another priest wrote it again. So how can I discern and prove that this story is in fact true? The answer is, I can't. But I can take what does make sense and adds up with my other researches and discoveries. However, I do know that it does coincide with the same time frame as the Tatarian kingdom, and that alone is enough for me to continue researching this topic. You know, the beauty of nature is that after all life has perished, nature continues to prevail. And when looking at these amazing discoveries, the buildings that are still standing after the reset people, and etc., it just tells me that life is nothing but a glimpse. And all I can do is glimpse back. Anyways, that's it for today, folks. Until next time, on Kingdom Within.
So yeah, that's probably the only video. No, that is the only video that I have discussing the topic on the orphan trains and, you know, the reset people. But yeah, let's go back to the topic. Sorry guys, I digress. Let's go to the Disney logos. $1940. You see that? This is the one they kept, right? The castle with the star going over it, like a dome. About to start watching the Pentavert. What exactly is that, Chris? Yeah, this is the one that I remember from my childhood. And it was from the movie Beauty and the Beast. Ah. After influencing global events for centuries, a secret society faces a dangerous threat from within. Can a Canadian reporter save them and the world? A new Netflix series should show some hidden gems. Nice. I'll definitely look into that. But yeah, you guys get the point. Let's go to this video. I don't know if there's gonna be much time to play this video, but this video is talking about the proof that Jesus already returned, the second coming. So I'm gonna go ahead and play it and play a little bit of it. And this guy, he's got a lot of scriptures to back it up too.
Never considered. There it is. No. That's what I want to talk about. And I want to show you, I want to give you actual proof. You know, people are looking for the great and fantastic. They're looking up in the sky so they can find Jesus coming back. And people are taking pictures and they say, oh, hey, there's Jesus. And look real close in the clouds. You can see an image of his face. First off, how do you know what he looks like? All right. Hey, man, my wife is the best. She brought me cold water. Thanks, honey. And a little something to quench my thirst. Zevia pop is pretty good. As far as pop goes, anyway. Okay, so now that the testimonials are done, they're looking for Christ up in the sky. They're looking for him in of all places, toast. I mean, they're looking for Jesus and his image to be burnt in a piece of toast. And then they put it on eBay and sell it for all kinds of money. Their Cheerios in the morning form an image of Jesus. And they're convinced there he is. Guys, really, are we that desperate? People have been looking for Christ to come back pretty intense for a couple hundred years. Before that, they didn't give it a whole lot of thought. Now, I'm not saying that they didn't think about it, but the last couple hundred years, especially in this country, it's been super focused on this since our Civil War, and people have been looking for Jesus to return, and they have just really wanted him to come back. And I cannot tell you the people that have told me, that have said to me literally these words. Well, certainly Jesus wouldn't leave us here in this mess. Think about what you just said. If you've ever said that, I want you to think about what you said. It's been 2,000 years. Jesus has left us here in this mess, guys. Now, I'm not being disrespectful. I'm being truthful about this. This is a mess. This is life. This is this world. This is not heaven. This is not where God dwells among us and makes everything great. Okay? He does dwell among us while we're here. He tabernacles with us. That's the last of the 7 feasts of Yahweh from Leviticus 23. It's a whole other study, but I would highly recommend checking that out. But hey, Roy, great to see you, by the way. We see Brooks and Greg and Juan and Sid, and who else am I missing? Tony and Bill and Amy, if I didn't say hi to all of y'all. So we're glad that you're with us. So this idea of Jesus coming back in our lifetime is 100% B-O-G-U-S. Bogus. By the way, that's a Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure term, right? It's totally bogus. What's actually an 80s thing. They're going to make a new Bill and Ted #3 just for anyone who really cares. Now, I'm sorry, guys. It's just who I am. It's what I do. Now, let's consider what I was just talking about, which is Jesus coming back in our lifetime. And people saying, well, certainly Jesus wouldn't leave us here in this mess. Yes, he is. Think about this. He left his apostles in that mess. He left all of those people in the first century in that mess. He did not rapture them up off of the planet so they didn't have to go through that torture and that torment and that persecution. He told them, when you see these things, this is the point of the Olivet Discourse. When you see these things taking place, leave, go somewhere safe. Don't come back to the city. Stay away. That's what he told them. So why is it that our generation is so special that those events of Christ coming back are going to happen to us? Now, I'm going to say this. I'm going to make a prediction. If you believe that Jesus is coming back in your lifetime, you are going to be 100% disappointed. As disappointed as your mom and dad are when he doesn't return in their time and their generation. As you will be as disappointed as your grandparents who believed that Jesus was going to come back in their lifetime. And maybe some of them have already gone and here Jesus didn't come. And your great-grandparents just knew that Jesus was going to come and take them out of this world so that they didn't have to mess with all of this. You see what I'm getting at? And they are gone. And our great-great-grandparents, and we can go back 49, 50 generations, however that counts out, and realize that every last generation that looked for Jesus to come physically, bodily in their lifetime has been disappointed. Now, here's the explanation that we get from the scholars today and the guys who are standing in the pulpit, because they don't want you to go somewhere else. They want to keep you hyped up. They want you to be just so excited that Jesus is going to come back in our lifetime. Whoever gave me the mad face, hey, prove me wrong. Tell me that I'm wrong. No, show me that I'm wrong. You can tell me that I'm wrong, but just show me that I'm wrong. He promised in their generation that he would come back to them and get them. What's John 14, 1-4? I tell you, who was he talking to? His apostles. He said, I tell you that I go to prepare a place for you, and where I am, there you shall be also. He says, if it weren't true, I would have told you. I'm coming back to get you, and I'm going to take you there. Now, what do you suppose they thought when Jesus said those words to him? I can tell you what they thought. I can tell you what they knew. They, through faith, believed what Jesus said. In Matthew 16, verse 27, 28, Jesus, here's your proof. You know, people don't want the Bible. Guys, the Bible is our proof about Jesus and his return. If you're going to go out here and you're going to look in the sky and you're going to get your phone out and you're going to look on a piece of toast and say, well, there's the evidence that Jesus is coming, or you're going to rely on some dream, or the way your Cheerios look in the bowl in the morning, then you go right ahead. You're going to be disappointed. You're going to be 100% disappointed, because Jesus said, and I quote, matter of fact, let me turn over here, Matthew 16, verse 27 and 28. And here's what Jesus said. Here's your proof. Ready? The Son of Man is about to come in the glory of his Father with his angels, and will then repay every man according to his deeds. And you say, well, it says going to come. Look at the Greek word, melo, in the present, indicative, active. About to come. And he will then repay every man according to his deeds. That's Jesus coming on the clouds for judgment. Now, notice what he says. And by the way, if you got Jesus and his return for judgment, that's also resurrection day. You can't get past that. Verse 28, truly I say to you, there are some of those who are standing here who will not taste of death until they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom. And we get all kinds of people trying to explain away the words of Jesus. Well, let me point something out to y'all. Here's what I'm going to point out. Tea leaves. Yeah, I've heard the tea leaves, but Cheerios. Roy, there was some, I saw something or read it or something. Some guy saw Jesus in his Cheerios, or I don't know, it could have been Fruit Loops. I don't know what it was, but so he was convinced.
I find that so funny though, because I used to do that too. Before even knowing any of these truths, I used to feel like, oh look, I see Jesus in my cereal bowl. You know how you just make shapes with your mind and your eyes. Even the ceiling, like you'll see like an imagery of a man with long hair and beard, and we just tend to do that. And as ridiculous as it sounds, trust me, there have been people out there who've written articles claiming Jesus' second coming through a bowl of cereal, through their ceiling wall, through a shape in the clouds. It's ridiculous, guys. But yeah.
And I'll never be able to prove that. And maybe I dreamed it, but if I dreamed it, then someone else did too. So anyway, so Jesus said, I'm going to come back in your lifetime. You will see me. Now, people, they go to the furthest extent to say, well, Jesus didn't.
Yeah, that's another thing, guys, is dreams. When you come across someone who starts off the conversation every time you guys see each other with, I had a dream. Those type of people, just run away. Yeah, just run away. Yeah, I had a dream. I get that we have dreams, and of course, dreams are subliminal, and they have meaning. But when you just find that one person who just constantly has dreams and states that he's seen Christ come in the clouds or whatever, run away.
Really mean that they were going to see him. We've got scholars who have written books that have just came right out and said that the apostles taught the first century brethren wrong about the return of the Lord. They taught, I can't believe these.
They did. They taught wrong, guys. The curriculum that they use in the Bible colleges today are all false. They teach these pastors, when they go to Bible college to get their pastoral degree, they teach them the wrong way. They hide the most important messages and, deceive them. So
these guys would say this. This shows desperation. That Jesus was coming back in their lifetime, but they were all disappointed because he didn't come back. Under inspiration of the Holy Spirit, guided by Yahweh himself and Jesus, his son, into all truth, as Jesus promised them. Do we not believe the promises of Jesus? They taught wrong. What? Okay. So there's a bunch of stuff I want to just show you. Okay. You want proof that Jesus has returned? Don't go outside and look in there. Get your Bible out. Get your Bible out. Let's look in here and see what this says. Either you believe the word of God and you're willing to take Jesus at his word or not. That's your only two options. And if Jesus says, you will see me coming in my kingdom, then what did he mean? He said, some of you standing here will still be alive.
yeah. Yep.
Matthew chapter 24.
How is it so hard to understand that?
Verse.
You know what I mean? Like, he said, some of you will be here. when I return. This generation will not pass until these things be fulfilled. What is so hard to understand that? Like, I guess I can say I get it, why they feel that way, and they'll say, well, he's still talking about our generation. Right. Christ literally said, this generation. He didn't say that generation. Although he was talking about the future, he was talking about the near future. The near future. He wasn't, and it's common sense. Literally, it's common sense. He's talking to the disciples, and the people he's talking to, he's letting them know, I will be back very soon. He wasn't speaking, oh, I will return. This generation will not pass until these things be fulfilled 2,000 years later. Seriously? Do people really think that Yahshua, aka Jesus, do they really think that when he said what he said, this generation will not pass until these things be fulfilled? Some of you may be here, will still be here when I return. Do they really think he's speaking about 2,000 years later? That's crazy, man. That's like a deception in itself. It's like he's confusing them, if that were the case. But it's not. He was talking about that generation. And by the way, guys, by definition, a generation is 25 years, 25 to 35 years. That is a generation. Even if it was 100 years per generation, even if it was 100, that's still far off. He was not talking about our generation that we're in right now. It is very clear. Very clear. Another person who I recommend, guys, to watch, and he had an awesome video, man. Let me go to him too. He goes by Web Dev Newbie. If you know Web Dev Newbie, give him a shout out in the comments. Where is it? I watched it yesterday, so here it is. He also shared my song, a song that I wrote, which is pretty awesome. But this whole video here, he's doing a lot of reading, guys. So keep in mind, this is his channel, Web Dev Newbie. Be sure to subscribe to this guy and watch his video. This whole video, he's talking about the Millennial Reign already passing. And it's an hour and a half of just proof after proof. Scripture after scripture. And shout out to this guy, man. He's awesome. I'm really looking forward to his upcoming videos. I hope he makes more, because he does have some good stuff. But yeah, let me just skim through it.
Hello there. How are you guys doing tonight?
There ain't no better love than this.
Yeah, that's a song that I wrote, and I was surprised that he shared it. He didn't even let me know. He just decided to share it, and I found that quite awesome.
Put actual
But
dates
this is
on the line, on the pink line.
his own graphical timeline that he created, and it's quite good. So if you guys, like I said, show the guy some love, man. He's awesome. Seems like one of the only passages people can't take literally. Our Father is not confusing. Exactly. He is not the author of confusion. can you please put the links in the chat when you upload this video, brother? Yes. By the way, hey, Martin, how are you, man? I'm so sorry about yesterday, man, how the video was cutting out on you. I believe you weren't the only one either. I was facing the same problem right after I uploaded the video yesterday. When I got off the live stream, when I tried to replay it, I noticed it was cutting out on me too. So it's probably YouTube. Can't be my internet, but glad it's fixed now. But yeah, I'll go ahead and let me see if I can do that. If I can put the links right now. All right, let's see if this goes through. Awesome. Perfect. See, this is my first time doing this, guys. So thanks for letting me know that, Martin. So now I know that I could put links. So that's the link to Web Dev Newbie. And then let's go to my guy here, Restoration Movement. And I will share his link as well. All right, so that's Restoration. And before I forget, let me share my wife's channel. Because I know some people asked me in the comments for her channel, but it's right here. Let me go to it. If I can find it. There you go. And it's her baby picture. Yeah, I'm gonna show my wife some love. And yeah, this is her channel. Let me share the link. Those of you who like music, feel free to click that link and subscribe. But yeah, she does a lot of music. We did a few songs together. If you would like me to share a song that we've done together, let me know in the comments and I'll play it. But yeah, Web Dev Newbie. Awesome video, guys. Awesome video. And who else was I going to share? It's Web Dev Newbie. And let me go to my subscriptions. Oh, I shared Exploring Tartaria yesterday. Yeah. She's awesome. Founded Earth Brothers. Yep, Founded Earth Brothers. Oh, so you would love that. Thank you, Bonnie. Appreciate that. All right, I'll probably play one song, just one song that we did together. And it might not be your style, but like I said, I do reggae, R&B, alternative. It's whatever I feel at that moment. It just depends. But this is a song that we wrote. It's called Be Alright, by me and the wife. I'll go ahead and play it.
If I could focus on the things that you've done for me, if I could focus on the way that you love me, would I be alright? Yeah, would I be alright? If I could focus on the times that you carried me, if I could focus on the signs from above, would I be alright? Yeah, yes, I'd be alright. You were looking out for me, I was lost. You were trying to show me the signs from above. I wasn't paying attention, I was in my emotions. I'll be alright.
If I could focus on the things that you've done for me, if I could focus on the way that you love me, would I be alright? Would I be alright? If I could focus on the times that you carried me, if I could focus on the signs from above, would I be alright? Would I be? Yes, I'll be alright.
You were looking out for me, I was lost. You were trying to show me the signs from above. I wasn't paying attention, I was in my emotions. I'll be alright.
Lord, I'll be feeling that dreams will dream, I'll be seeing that day is the day I'll be hoping. It is your eyes I see it, your signs and wonders. Now I know you're taking me home, yeah, yeah.
And when I'm feeling pressed down, like I'm always stressed out, and when I am in need, Lord, you seem to be around, oh. You never seem to fail me, no. You never seem to fail me, no. Your love just seems to grow, yeah. Oh yeah. You already know what you've done. Yeah, yeah. You were looking out for me, I was lost. You were trying to show me the signs from above. I wasn't paying attention, I was in my emotions. I'll be alright. You were looking out for me, I was lost. You were trying to show me the signs from above. I wasn't paying attention, I was in my emotions. I'll be alright.
Well, thank you guys for the compliments. It's awesome. But yeah, if you haven't noticed, I took those chords from that classical. It's a classical chord, the melody, and it goes to so many songs. For example, the Righteous Brothers when they sang. Oh my gosh, I'm going blank right now. But it's that song, "Oh My Love." You know, what's it called? Unchained Melody. Yeah, Unchained Melody. So those are the same chords. Also, if you haven't watched Twilight, There is a song on there that uses the same chords as I used on this song, Be Alright. But I just did it, I twisted it and made it more of like a reggae-ish, pop-ish type. So, haha, my 2-year-old Mana is dancing to your song. So beautiful, love it, Tala and Manu. Thank you so much, Bonnie. Thank you, Martin Green. But yeah, Web Dev Newbie, check him out. Conspiracy RS is good. Ooh, here's another one. Golden Age Past. Golden Age Past, guys. This guy, he's actually one of the first YouTubers that I discovered and was able to find out these truths, come across these truths. And the first video was that he came out with that opened my eyes was this one right here. Bible proves mud flood was Armageddon. So that one, he also mirrored Conspiracy RS's video. I'm pretty sure most of you guys watched this one, the Millennial Reign of Christ and the Second Coming, or the Second Resurrection. This one's quite popular. And yeah, even this one, the undeniable proof they added 1,000 years to our timeline. If you guys haven't seen this one here, this one is awesome. Actually, I'll play it if you guys want me to. Beautiful couple, love to see. Thank you so much, Martin Green. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, we love to do music. That's one of our other talents, but I wouldn't trade it for the truth. I'll tell you that much. All right, I'm gonna play this for you guys. Undeniable proof they added 1,000 years to our timeline. And I'll go ahead and share the link as well.
Then leave it in the comments. Okay, so real quick, I want to clear some things up before.
I'm so glad that I could share the links now. Makes my job a lot easier. All right, here we go.
Before I get into this video, so there's no confusion. 1. The I or J always stands for either Jesus or Jesus. Sometimes they use the I, sometimes they use the J. 2. The way they wrote back then is not exactly how we write today, which explains why. Sometimes letters or numbers look a little different. 3. The end of this video is going to prove without a doubt that they fabricated the history. So if the coins are not enough, stay till the end. 4. This video is especially for the skeptics. If you have a better explanation, then leave it in the comments. Lastly, this video is very beginner friendly, so feel free to share with your friends.
The spirit of a sorcerer imposes his will for a thrill. Black magic, how tragic as he moves in for the kill. A spell was cast into the air of electrical magnetical waves, broadcast into the ears of malleable innocent brains, stealing the imaginations of all the little boys and girls across the nation. Well, there's witches on the radio. Oh no, there's witches on witches on the radio. Masters of illusion, causing great confusion. The spirit of Jezebel takes a hold of your body and soul. Different witch, same bitch, and you know that you won't let go. Like a siren upon the rocks, seducing every sailor with song, luring every ship to wreck, while the music lingers on and on, stealing the imaginations of all the little boys and girls across the nation. Well, there's witches on the radio. Oh no, there's witches on the radio. Oh no, there's witches on the radio. Masters of illusion, causing great confusion. You better watch out. Witches on the radio. Oh no, there's witches on the radio. Oh no, there's witches on the radio. Masters of illusion, causing great confusion. Yeah, it was good. It felt good.
I don't want to be alone. I don't want a broken home. But if I'm meant to be free, then babe, just let me leave. I don't wish this was the case. I don't wish this was my face. But the truth can't seem to hide. Babe, it's my time to fly. And I don't need no good time friends. I don't need a one-night stand. All I need is to feel safe again.
Okay, still not convinced. This is where I prove it. We have a book from 1642, okay? 1642. You see the I, but okay, 1642. Say the I is really a 1. Well, let's actually go into the book and see for itself. Okay, so we have this old book open. So this is supposed to be 1642. Year 1642. Okay, let's go into the actual book. I already know where it is, so I'm gonna scroll down. Okay. The actual book is showing August without, there's no I or J. 619. August of 619. I translated it, and it shows at the College of St. Thomas in Madrid in August 619. That's the real year. No even I there. Let's go further. This gives us the actual date that they're talking about. 21st of August in the year 619. Not I-619, not 1619, but 619. Mind you, this book is supposed to be written in what they say is 1642. That is enough proof on its own. There is plenty more, but I'm just gonna stop it at that. And yeah, I'll leave the link for this in the description if y'all want to go translate it yourself, see what else it's saying. But yeah, this definitely proves, without a doubt, that they fabricated the time. I'd like to know if anyone has any better explanations for it. Then yeah, let me know. Let me know in the comments, cause it's missing a one.
So yeah, guys, the link that he's talking about, I'll go to it right now. So this is what he was talking about. Those of you who want to translate this yourself and do some research on it, I'll go ahead and share this too in the comment section. Great stuff, right? But anyways, yeah, that's Golden Age past. Definitely got some good stuff. Satan Unbound, that's another good one. It's about an hour long. Let's see, who else? I'm trying to find who else I can shout out. And if you guys have a YouTube channel too, I'll feel free to share it, and I'll shout it out too. Of course, Martin Liedtke, he's got some good stuff. Michelle Gibson, Mine Unveiled. Mud Flood Was Armageddon. New Earth. Rob Skiba, rest in peace. Streets of Tartaria. Those of you who haven't subscribed to Streets of Tartaria need to right now. As a matter of fact, let's go to one of his most amazing videos, in my opinion, is the Salt Lake City Temple one. It is amazing, guys. This video shows so much proof of mud flood, undeniable proof, overwhelming proof that there was a mud flood and that the Salt Lake City Temple was not built by those so-called pioneers of Utah. But this is the video right here. This video, guys, I'm telling you guys, it is amazing. Hold on, I think this is not the one. It's the one with the Salt Lake City temple. He actually goes there. And let me know if you guys seen it. Here it is. Bam. I'm going to rewind it for you guys. It's only 22 minutes long, so not too long. Check this video out, guys. This is one that I have to share.
Alright, I'm in Salt Lake City at the...
And you know what? I'm going to maximize this one so you guys can see it in full view. And I'm also going to shut up. 1 second. Make these adjustments real quick. Oh yeah, be sure to subscribe to Streets of Tartaria. I'll share the link to it too. As a matter of fact, I'll share it now. All right, guys, let's do this.
renovation on the Salt Lake City Temple, and the storyline is that they are planning on an earthquake happening soon, and the temple, I believe, was open in 1894, and it's lasted great since then, but they're planning on an earthquake happening that's gonna take everybody else out except them here in this temple. They want this temple to withstand this coming earthquake, is the storyline. But look how far down that hole goes down there. I would say somewhere around 40 feet from, oh no, more than that, probably 50 feet from ground level. Now this thing right here, that right there, that's the ground level. That's the original ground level around the temple. Just really interesting. You know, the question is did they dig a hole that deep in 1854? Did they dig a 30 to 40 foot hole and build this foundation out of it? Really interesting, you know, the way that they've just kind of piled up a bunch of stuff up against the bottom of the temple there. Makes it really hard to see what we're looking at there. So I thought, well, while I'm here, I could take you on a tour of this temple square. They've kind of opened it up to everybody. I think that they've kind of felt the heat about maybe people thinking that they're trying to hide what they're doing, even though it does look like they're trying to hide what they're doing. Quite a job, quite an amazing hole that they've dug here. And I guess this is a tunnel that's going to go over to the new conference center. This is, by the way, this is new. This has happened in the last 15, 20 years when that was built. And that replaced this tabernacle right here. And the storyline on this tabernacle is that there's not a nail in it, that it was built by a boat maker, and they built an upside down boat. and they used wooden peg all throughout the construction, and so there's no nail inside this tabernacle right here. It's all wooden dowel and peg. So pretty interesting. And they're doing this as well. I want to come over here and get another view for you. And they have some pictures up and stuff. And here's a photo of what they say is the construction. Sorry about that, didn't mean to have that zoomed in. So this is supposed to be them building the temple right here. Interesting. There's the tabernacle right here behind it. So on this other side over here, again, that's ground level up there where these, right above these metal shelves right here. And you can see that underneath this stairs right here, this is what people have a problem with, is underneath these stairs, there's a door where that ladder is underneath there. And so, just kind of interesting that there's a door underneath those stairs right there, and that's ground level. And I guess the idea is that these round things along the bottom that they're putting in are supposed to roll somehow in case of an earthquake. So that's what they're saying, is that these are like rollers that the temple is going to be on top of when that earthquake hits. And so let's take a look at this tabernacle here. So if I remember right, it sat, well, it still sits, it's still open. It sits 7,000 people. And I always, for some reason, thought that this was brick, but it's stone. So it would be interested to see if there is brick in there anywhere, you know. It's quite a building. And there's also Assembly Hall over here that I'm going to take you on a tour of. And back here was originally called the Hotel Utah. And it's a huge hotel that has been renamed the Joseph Smith Memorial Building. I think that they started feeling guilty that there wasn't anything named after the founder of the church after Brigham Young came into power. Look at that right there. You walk down to get into that door right there. Isn't that interesting? I find that interesting. And well, look at that. Holy crap. That goes down there a ways. I can't hardly even, I would say that goes down about 10 feet down there. And it does look like there's a window that's been blocked in right there. It's really hard for me to get that angle for you. But it does, that is interesting that goes down so far right there. Huh. So interesting. And they have a flower bed over this, different sections. That was really interesting. So, step up to get to that door. Doesn't really say anything there. Something when the plaque was made. Now this wall is a different wall than what the original wall was. And it is made out of new brick. The original wall, if you look up Temple Square, you'll see a really old stone wall. So At some point, they found the need to get rid of stone and replace it with brick. And it did look really old. So let's see what we have here. Another one of those huge things that it goes down there quite a ways. Huh. Interesting. You know, what it makes me wonder is if this was taller at one time before a mud flood event. So it's kind of built like a stadium where you have all these entrances, 21, 20, 20, and so on. And so that's the tabernacle. Let's go check out Assembly Hall. I'll be right back. Okay, I've come back around to check out Assembly Hall here. And I think the storyline on this building is that it was finished in 1888, which is a strange year. There's a lot of conspiracy related with the year 88s and what's gone down in those years. It is a beautiful granite building for sure. And it does make me wonder. I mean, this is interesting right here that you do go down quite a ways. I would say, well, let's just see here. So this is 8 feet. So, well, it's actually about 8.5 feet to this little area right here. Plus, I would say it's about 12 feet down there. Now that's really interesting that they would have that go down 12 feet there. And it looks like new sandstone put along that edge there. You know, I believe that this whole foundation is not the foundation that this was built on. That's all been added. And you have vents coming out from under there right here. Which is interesting. I mean, how deep does it go down in there? And another vent back in here. Yeah, I believe that this is a facade foundation all the way around that. And right there tells you that that's not real right there. What's behind there is what we're seeing right here. You see that? So this is more real than what that is all the way around it. So how much further and deeper did it go into the ground? You know, the belief is that they found this building when they got here. And they found the temple when they got here and they fixed it up. They might have even disassembled it. I mean, they might have disassembled the temple and re-put it up like Legos. That's the kind of block work that it's built out of. They could have numbered every block and took it down for a photo shoot and stacked it back up. I mean, that's a real possibility. So I'm gonna see if I can go inside. I'll be back. See that you step down, it looks like you go down about 4 or 5 feet down to the bottom there. And there's a working back. And there's kind of like stairways going up front. Is there a basement below here? No, there's not. So, where does that door on the side go that goes down about 12 feet?
Oh, that one goes back.
Oh, there's a door on the side over here? On the outside that you can enter in and it goes down about 12 feet to a door down there? Do you know anything about that?
Is it on that side or right here?
It's on this side, right like in your corner right there on the
Yeah,
outside.
it goes into some other back rooms.
Oh, some back rooms. But it goes down about 12 feet into the ground.
It's basically, this is like
Because
there's
this
a
is
piano
hollow
room.
underneath here, right?
There's a piano room where like people would have meetings, but it's not really used or anything. So it's just yeah. Nice to meet you all.
Thank you. That's the storyline. There's a door going down 12 feet, but you know that's just a sister missionary. She doesn't really know for sure. I guess the A is for Assembly Hall. So that's the storyline on that. Again, that's definitely a false foundation on that building. And if you just look at the building, you know, it is beautiful. It's a gorgeous building, but was it a little taller? Was it another 12 feet taller like those stairs originally? Well, it would be more beautiful if it was 12 feet taller. So, you know, it's a possibility, right? So that is pretty much everything inside here. I'm going to take you over to the Joseph Smith Memorial Building. I see that they're working on that. And that has one of the most interesting tops on it in the state. Probably the most interesting top there. So let's go check that out. I'll be right back. How's it going? It's a hard day's work, it looks like. Yeah. That's some serious work down in there. Uh-huh. You how far down does that temple go? You know?
Far down?
Yeah. How many stories?
The temple?
Yeah.
It only go 40 feet down.
How many feet? 40? 40 feet? So it's 40 feet down to the bottom?
To the ground level.
To the very bottom level?
Yeah.
And that's inside the temple?
Inside.
Wow.
Well, you gotta put hydraulics.
And that's where they're putting the hydraulics is 40 feet down, huh? Wow.
Hydraulics for the architect.
Is there an aqueduct underneath there?
You guys hear that? 40 feet. 40 feet down. That is crazy. 40 feet translates to what? 4 stories? 10 feet per floor? Let me rewind that in case you guys didn't hear it.
There as well?
Yeah. 40 feet.
That.
Uh-huh.
So let's go check that out. I'll be right back. How's it going? It's a hard day's work, it looks like. Yeah. That's some serious work down in there.
Uh-huh.
How far down does that temple go? You know?
Far down?
Yeah. How many stories?
The temple?
Yeah.
It only go 40 feet down.
You hear that? 40 feet down.
How many? Yeah.
It only go 40 feet down.
How many feet?
It only go 40 feet down.
How many?
It only go 40 feet down.
How many?
Exactly, guys. 4 stories below. And I'm sure they've always known this, you know, the officials. It's just, you know, it's being uncovered and we're just figuring this out just now.
How many feet? 40? 40 feet? So it's 40 feet down to the bottom?
Amazing.
To the ground level.
To the very bottom level.
And I know John Levi did a video like this too a couple months back. It was last year. And he did a video where he went to the Salt Lake City Temple. Pretty similar to what Streets of Tartaria did. And both 4 stories. 40 feet. Crazy, man.
Yeah.
Just undeniable proof.
And that's inside the temple?
Inside.
Wow.
Well, you gotta put hydraulics.
And that's where they're putting the hydraulics is 40 feet down, huh? Wow.
goes for the arcade.
Is there an aqueduct underneath there as well?
No.
No, huh? Huh, interesting. Hey, thanks a lot. All right, we're over at the Joseph Smith Memorial Building, originally called the Hotel Utah. This is a statue of Brigham Young. Looks like it's bronze. And a bunch of photos of the temple. It's just like probably the grand opening of the temple, or the capstone lane with all these people. And but this building, here we go.
But yeah, guys, if you want to finish that video, go ahead and click on the link in the live stream. I think it's the last link. Feel free to go and subscribe to his channel. Great stuff, guys. He's got a whole bunch of stuff, by the way. All these videos. But yeah, this has been quite a long stream. I will probably go ahead and call it, because it's getting quite late. So I hope you guys enjoyed this live stream. I know it went from Disney characters to a whole bunch of other stuff. But like I said, it's not scripted. It's just, it is what it is. So, hope you guys enjoyed tonight's stream. You guys be safe out there. Be blessed. Until next time.
You say one word, I say amazing.